Hare Krishna.
Do you know how to do it? This thing doesn't stand.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. We'll have the Gita class now. Before that, I'll just sing the Jai Radha Madhav song. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Shrimate Bhakti
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So today we're going to be reading from the Bhagavad Gita. Is it any of your first time here? No, all of you come regularly. So all of you know Bhagavad Gita, yeah? Yeah. Bhagavad Gita is a very beautiful book. Bhagavad means like Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And Gita means song. So Bhagavad Gita is the song of Krishna. Song of Krishna to Arjuna. And it said that actually Arjuna, he represents all of us as well. So this is, Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's song to all of us, to give us knowledge, to give us inspiration, to give us hope. So today we're reading from chapter 1, the verses text 32 to 35. Before I begin, before I read today's verse, I'll just give a brief summary of what's been happening since the beginning of the chapter. So the Bhagavad Gita begins with Dhritarashtra asking Sanjaya about the events that are happening at Kurukshetra. It begins with Dhritarashtra. He says, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samavedha yutsava mamaka pandavaschaiva kimakurvata Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra says, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? And then Sanjaya, he begins by explaining what's happening at Kurukshetra. So he explains how both the armies of both sides, they were assembled there, and they were both preparing themselves for the battle. And at that time, Arjuna, he asked Krishna to take his chariot in between both of the armies, so that he can see everyone who came there to fight, who he'll have to fight with in this battle. And so it's very interesting that Lord Krishna, even though he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he accepts this very humble role as chariot driver for Arjuna. We can see at that time also the caste system was very prominent in India. Just like we can see from the life of Karna, probably many of you know Karna. He was refused many times in life, many opportunities, because he was known as the son of a chariot driver. Even though actually he was Kunti's son, but people didn't know that. They thought that he was the son of a chariot driver. When he went to Draupadi's Swayamvar and he wanted to marry Draupadi, Draupadi refused that. I will not marry the son of a chariot driver. And also when he wanted to learn the military art from Parshuram, Parshuram wouldn't accept someone as a student who was a chariot driver. So that shows us the position of a chariot driver, how low it was in society that day. But Krishna is so loving to his devotees that he accepts such a low role. He doesn't mind getting criticized by others or other people looking down on him. Krishna just wants to please his devotees. And out of love for his dear friend Arjuna, he accepts this role as a chariot driver. There's a nice story of one South Indian brahmin. This happened like about 500 years ago. he was illiterate. And his Guru Maharaj, he gave him the order that, I want you to read the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita daily. So the disciple, he was like, how is that possible? Like, I'm illiterate, I can't read anything. But he was like, what to do? If Guru Maharaj gave me this instruction, I have to try to follow it. So every day he would just take the Bhagavad Gita and he would flip through the pages like he was reading. He would try, but obviously he couldn't read. And people who knew him, they would mock like, oh, what are you reading? You can't read. But he would just continue reading anyways. He said, this is my Guru's instruction, and he had that faith that I must follow what my Guru Maharaj tells me to do. And then one day, Lord Chaitanya, he was visiting South India. And then he noticed this Brahmin reading Bhagavad Gita. And he saw how people were laughing at him and mocking him. And he heard that he was illiterate, that he couldn't read. But then he was observing this Brahmin for some time, and he noticed that sometimes tears would come to his eyes. And that these tears were tears of love for Krishna, love for God. So then Mahaprabhu was like, he approached that Brahmin and he asked him that, Brahmin, what are you reading? And then the Brahmin could understand that this is not someone who came to joke with me, this person is serious. So he explained to him that, my Guru Maharaj, he gave me this instruction to read the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita daily, but I'm illiterate, so I can't read it, but still I just take the Bhagavad Gita and I'm trying my best. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that, but I see sometimes that you're crying when you're reading Bhagavad Gita. How is that if you can't understand anything? Then the Brahmin, he said that, yeah, it's true, that sometimes when I just pick up this book, Bhagavad Gita, then I see one picture here. I see the picture of Krishna and Arjuna in the chariot, and I see that Krishna has accepted the role of a chariot driver, Arjuna. And seeing this picture, how much love Krishna has for his devotee, this breaks my heart and makes me cry. So, and Mahaprabhu, he then embraced that Brahmin, and he says that you have understood the true meaning of Bhagavad Gita. So that, yeah, that's a nice story about, to show how loving Krishna is to his devotees. The devotees are trying to please Krishna, but Krishna is also trying to please his devotees. So then, Arjuna, he asked Krishna to please take his chariot in between both of the armies. And then Krishna takes the chariot right in front of all the big generals. So there he sees Bhishma Dev, who was his grandfather. Arjuna's father died when he was very young, and Bhishma practically raised him. So he had a lot of affection for Bhishma Dev. And then also he saw Drona, who was his military teacher, his guru. And he saw so many of his different relatives and friends. And then when he was looking at them and thinking that, I'm going to have to kill all of these people in this battle, then he was like, no, I can't do this. I can't kill my teacher. I can't kill my grandfather. I can't kill all of these friends. So then Arjuna turns to his friend Krishna, and he starts explaining his feelings to him. That it said that his entire body was trembling, his mouth was drying up, his bow was slipping from his hand, and he was completely confused as to what he should do. And so he starts giving many arguments to Krishna why he thinks he shouldn't fight this battle. And so that is what today's verse is. So I'll just read the Sanskrit. We can repeat the last one together. I'll read the first three. Kim no rajena govinda, kim bhogir jivitena va, yesham artha kangshitam no, rajyam bhoga sukani cha. Taime vashtita yudhe pranam styaktva dhanani cha, acharya pitara potras tataiva cha pitamaha. Matula swashura potra shalya sambandhinastata, etanna hantu michami gnatopi madhusudhana. So we'll do this last verse with repetition. You can please repeat after me. Api trailokya rajasya hetu kim nu mahi krite nihatya dharta rashtrana kapritisya janardana. Would anyone like to try? Sing the verse. Api trailokya rajasya hetu kim no mahikrite nihatya dhartarashtrana kapritisya janardana. Api trailokya rajasya hetunam vikrite nihatya dhartarashtranam kapritisya janardana. Okay, so I'll do the word for word. Kim, what? What use, sorry. Naha, to us. Rajena, is the kingdom. Govinda, O Krishna. Kim, what? Bhogai, enjoyment. Jivitena, living. Va, either. Yesham, of whom. Arte, for the sake. Kangshitam, is desired. Naha, by us. Rajyam, kingdom. Bhoga, material enjoyment. Sukhani, all happiness. Cha, also. Te, all of them. Ime, these. Avashtita, situated. Yudhe, on this battlefield. Pranan, lives. Tyaktva, giving up. Dhanani, riches. Cha, also. Acharya, teachers. Pitara, fathers. Putra, sons. Tata, as well as. Eva, certainly. Cha, also. Pitamaha, grandfathers. Matula, maternal uncles. Svashura, fathers-in-law. Potra, grandsons. Shyala, brothers-in-law. Sambandhina, relatives. Tata, as well as. Etan, all these. Na, never. Handum, to kill. Ichami, do I wish. Gnata, being killed. Api, even. Madhusudhana, O killer of the demon Madhu. Krishna. Api, even if. Trailokya, of the three worlds. Rajasya, for the kingdom. Heto, in exchange. Kimnu, what to speak of. Mahikrite, for the sake of the earth. Nihatya, by killing. Dhritarashtran, the sons of Dhritarashtra. Naha, our. Ka, what. Priti, pleasure. Syat, will there be. Janardana, O maintainer of all living entities. Translation. This is Arjuna speaking to Krishna. O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them even in exchange for the 3 worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Now I'll read the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Arjuna has addressed Lord Krishna as Govinda, because Krishna is the object of all pleasures for the cows and the senses. By using this significant word, Arjuna indicates that Krishna should understand what will satisfy Arjuna's senses. But Govinda is not meant for satisfying our senses. If we try to satisfy the senses of Govinda, however, then automatically our own senses are satisfied. Materially, everyone wants to satisfy his senses, and he wants God to be the order supplier for such satisfaction. The Lord will satisfy the senses of the living entities as much as they deserve, but not to the extent that they may covet. But when one takes the opposite way, namely one tries to satisfy the senses of Govinda without desiring to satisfy one's own senses, then by the grace of Govinda, all desires of the living entity are satisfied. Arjuna's deep affection for community and family members is exhibited here, partly due to his natural compassion for them. He is therefore not prepared to fight. Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives, but Arjuna fears that all his relatives and friends will be killed on the battlefield, and he will be unable to share his opulence after victory. This is a typical calculation of material life. The transcendental life, however, is different. Since a devotee wants to satisfy the desires of the Lord, he can, Lord willing, accept all kinds of opulence for the service of the Lord. And if the Lord is not willing, he should not accept a farthing. Arjuna did not want to kill his relatives, and if there were any need to kill them, he desired that Krishna kill them personally. At this point, he did not know that Krishna had already killed them before their coming into the battlefield, and that he was only to become an instrument for Krishna. This fact is disclosed in following chapters. As a natural devotee of the Lord, Arjuna did not like to retaliate against his miscreant cousins and brothers, but it was the Lord's plan that they should all be killed. The devotees of the Lord does not retaliate against the wrongdoer, but the Lord does not tolerate any mischief done to the devotees by the miscreants. The Lord can excuse a person on his own account, but he excuses no one who has done harm to his devotees. Therefore the Lord was determined to kill the miscreants, although Arjuna wanted to excuse them. Srila Prabhupada ki. So in this verse here, Arjuna gives many different arguments and reasons why he thinks it's not a good idea to fight the battle. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, he analyzes Arjuna's different arguments. And some of them he lists as coming from Arjuna's divine nature as a devotee. And others he lists as like a demoniac tendency. So in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada, he says here that Arjuna has addressed Lord Krishna as Govinda because Krishna is the object of pleasures for cows and senses. Yeah, go can mean either cows or it can also mean senses. Like we have Goswami, that means master of the senses. So Govinda, the master of one who gives pleasure to the cows or one who gives pleasure to the senses. Then Prabhupada says, by using this significant word, Arjuna indicates that Krishna should understand what will satisfy Arjuna's senses, but Govinda is not meant for satisfying our senses. So here Arjuna is saying that, Krishna, you are Govinda, you are one who satisfies the senses. So now my senses are so disturbed, so perplexed, so you should satisfy my senses. But Arjuna, Srila Prabhupada is pointing out here that this is not, this is a demoniac quality, the idea that I want to satisfy my senses and I want everyone else should also satisfy my senses. Even Krishna should satisfy my senses. In the Bhagavad Gita 15:7, Krishna says, Maivam so jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana, manashashrani indriyani prakriti stani karshiti. That the living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. But due to conditioned life, they're struggling very hard with the 6 senses, which include the mind. And so actually, we're all part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivam so jiva loke. But because of illusion, we've forgotten this. And so we're thinking that we're supreme, that we're God, and that everyone should satisfy our senses. But actually, the function of a part and parcel is to satisfy the whole, to work for the whole. And so when we understand this, then we won't be so worried about our own sense gratification. We'll understand that our purpose is to satisfy the senses of Krishna. Then another point that Prabhupada makes here is Arjuna has compassion for the body. So this bodily identification. Arjuna is thinking, I don't want to kill these people because I have a bodily relationship with them. But actually a devotee understands that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. And so a devotee doesn't have any desires or make any decisions based on bodily identification. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, in the Srimad Bhagavatam actually, there's a nice verse in Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 8. It says, Yasyatma buddhi krinapetu dhachikrit sadikalatra dishubhoma ichati yadhirtha buddhi shalilena karhichit janeshu abhigeshu sa eva gokaraha. That one who identifies himself with his body, one who identifies his bodily byproducts as his kingsmen, one who thinks that the place where he was born is considered worshipable, and one who goes to holy places simply to take a bath there, but not to associate with the pure devotees who reside there, is just like an animal. So we shouldn't make decisions based on bodily identification, like Arjuna was making here, considering that I shouldn't kill these people just because I'm related to them. And then another quality here is pride. Shishirada Gokulananda ki, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Jai Parnitai ki Jai. Another demoniac tendency that Srila Prabhupada highlights here is pride. Prabhupada writes here that everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives, but Arjuna fears that all his relatives and friends will be killed on the battlefield, and he will be unable to share his opulence after victory. This is a typical calculation of material life. So Arjuna was thinking that, even if I win this war and win the kingdom, then who will I enjoy it with? Who will praise me for what I did? So it was based on this desire of pride, wanting to show one's achievements to others. And so this again is another quality that comes from a demoniac nature. Because actually, what can we do? Here in the Purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that Krishna had already killed everyone on the battlefield, and that he told Arjuna just to become an instrument. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, verse 10, Krishna says, Bijam mam sarvabhutanam vidiparita sanatanam buddhir buddhi matam asmi tejas tejas vinavaham. He says that, O Arjuna, know that I am the original seed of all existence. I am the intelligence of the intelligent and the prowess of all powerful men. So actually, whatever power that anyone may have, it's actually not their own, it's coming from Krishna. And so when we recognize this, then we never become proud, because we know that my intelligence is coming from Krishna. My ability comes from Krishna. And then, but then Srila Prabhupada, he also says that there are some divine qualities that Arjuna is also showing here in his arguments. One is compassion. Srila Prabhupada says that Arjuna had this natural compassion. And compassion is a natural quality of a Vaishnava. It says that a devotee is paradukkha dukhi, that he is distressed at seeing other people distressed, and that his happiness is seeing other people happy. And we can see this very nicely in the life of Srila Prabhupada, that he was paradukkha dukhi. He was living in Vrindavan, and there he was living very peacefully. He was living in the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, and he had the association of so many saintly people who lived there. He was happily studying the books, Bhagavatam, Gita, and teaching them, writing. He could have lived there peacefully his whole life. This was already old when he had retired from family life. But then Prabhupada was thinking about the other people out in the world who didn't have knowledge of Krishna, of devotion, of bhakti, and how they were suffering because of that. They were getting so much entangled in material life, and this would lead them to suffer so much, and ultimately in their next life they would have to take birth in either lower species or suffer in hell because of their sinful activities, because of ignorance, of not knowing about Krishna, not knowing about the scriptures. And so Prabhupada, even though he was old at that time, he was 69 years old, his health was not so good, he took a ship and he traveled to America just to try to give this knowledge to everybody in the world. So that is the quality of a Vaishnava, that he is paradukkha dukhi. He is always, personally he has no distress because he's always happy in Krishna consciousness. But he's sad seeing the suffering of other people. And another quality that Srila Prabhupada talks about here, another divine quality, is he says that a devotee never wants to retaliate. Prabhupada writes here, the devotee of the Lord does not retaliate against the wrongdoer, but the Lord does not tolerate any mischief done to the devotee by the miscreants. The Lord can excuse a person on his own account, but he excuses no one who has done harm to his devotees. So devotee is very tolerant. He doesn't, if somebody offends him, he doesn't try to retaliate against them. It says that Lord Chaitanya, he wrote this beautiful verse, Trinadapi sunichena, dadodapi sahishnuna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadahari. That a devotee is more tolerant than a tree and more humble than a blade of grass. And he doesn't desire any respect from anyone, and yet he's always ready to offer respect to everyone else. And so this is the ideal character of a true devotee, that he's very tolerant. But it says that Krishna doesn't tolerate when his devotee is offended. So even though a devotee, he won't try to retaliate someone doing something wrong to him, Krishna won't let anyone do anything wrong to his devotee. He will always protect his devotee from all danger. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we find so many examples of this. One example is the story of Maharaj Ambarish. Maharaj Ambarish, he was a great king, but he was also a great devotee. And one day he was observing a fast. And then just when it was time for him to break the fast, Durvasa Muni and all of his entourage arrived at the king's palace as a guest. And so the king, he welcomed them. He said, please come, he asked them to take some food, take some prasad. So Durvasa Muni said that, yes, I'll go take my bath in the river and then we'll come and we'll have prasad. We'll come and eat at your place. But then what happened is, at that time while they were bathing, that was the exact time where Maharaj Ambarish had to break his fast. If he waited longer, the time would end and then the result of his fast would all be gone. So Maharaj Ambarish, he was thinking what to do, because it's etiquette that first you need to serve your guests food and then after that you can accept yourself. So he's thinking, I can't eat because Durvasa Muni I already invited him. First I must serve him, and then I can eat. So he consulted with his ministers, with the brahmins. He said, what should I do? So they told him that you just drink some water. Drinking water, it will break your fast, but also is not considered eating. So he said, okay. So he drank a little bit of water. But then Durvasa Muni, he's a mystic yogi. And so he could understand that Maharaj Ambarish, he had drinking water before he fed him food. So Durvasa Muni, he took offense, and he got angry, and he created a big demon by his yogic power to kill Maharaj Ambarish. But Maharaj Ambarish, he didn't do anything. He just folded his hands, he prayed to Krishna. He said, yes, maybe I made some offense, that if this is what you want, it's okay, I accept it. But Krishna immediately, he sent his Sudarshan Chakra. And the Sudarshan Chakra killed the demon, and it started chasing after Durvasa Muni. And when Durvasa Muni, he saw the chakra chasing him, then he started running all over the universe. He ran to Brahma, he asked him, please do something, please help me. Brahma said that this is Vishnu's chakra, I can't stop it. Like that, he went to Shiva. Shiva also said, there's nothing I can do. Then finally he reaches Vaikuntha, the highest planet, and he begs Vishnu that, please save me from this chakra, it's going to kill me. So Vishnu says that, I can't save you. So Durvasa is like, what do you mean? This is your chakra. Of course you can stop it. But Vishnu said that, no, I'm controlled by my devotees. Because you've offended my great devotee, Maharaj Ambarish, the only one who can save you is my devotee. So you have to go back to Maharaj Ambarish and beg forgiveness from him. And so when Durvasa Muni did that, immediately Ambarish Maharaj, he said that, no, there's no offense, I forgive you. But that shows the nature of a devotee, that he doesn't try to retaliate, even though someone might be unfair to him, someone might try to harm him. And also that Krishna, he is always ready to protect his devotees in all circumstances. So there's many, many other stories. There's also more recently, like 500 years ago, there's the pastime of Lord Nityananda with Jagai and Madai. Lord Nityananda, he was going around to everyone and begging them to please take the name of Krishna, chant Krishna. And he came to these two drunkards. Their name were Jagai and Madai. They were very sinful. And he fell at their feet and he said, I have one request. I beg you, please chant the name of Krishna. It will make you happy. It will make you attain all success in your life. But these drunkards, they were very, very sinful. And one of them, they took a clay pot and they threw it at Lord Nityananda's head. And blood started flowing from his head. But Nityananda, he didn't mind. He said that, I don't mind if you hurt me. I still beg you, please, just chant the name of Krishna for your own good. And then, but at that moment, Lord Chaitanya, he came with his Sudarshan Chakra, and he was very angry that they had hit Nityananda Prabhu. And he was about to kill them, but Nityananda Prabhu, he fell at Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet, and he said, please don't kill them, please give them your mercy. Nityananda Prabhu, he's also Adi Guru, he's Balaram. So he's teaching us the example of what is a true Vaishnav character, what is a true devotee's character. That a devotee is always tolerant and always just trying to do good for others. He's not so concerned about his own safety, his own self. He just tries to please Krishna, and then Krishna, he takes full care of his devotees who are surrendered to him. So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada, he does like you could say like a desire analysis or like a thought analysis. He's analyzing based on Arjuna's arguments. He analyzes some of them as coming from a demoniac nature, demoniac tendency, and others from divine qualities of a Vaishnava. It's said that in the beginning of creation in Satya Yuga, that demons and demigods, they lived on different planets. Then in Treta Yuga, demons and demigods, they lived on the same planet but in different parts, like different countries. Then in Dvapara Yuga, demons and demigods, they lived like in the same family, in the same homes. But that is said that in this age of Kali, that demons and demigods, they live within the same heart. So all of us can see this, that sometimes we have very bad desires, bad thoughts that just, comes from our heart. And sometimes we have very good thoughts, good intentions. I was reading in Radhanath Swami, he wrote a very nice book. It's called The Journey Within. And there he gives the example of two dogs. So it's, two dogs, and they're both barking, they're both fighting, and they're both trying to conquer the other one. And so Maharaj says that these two dogs, one is a good dog and one is a bad dog. And both of them are constantly competing for superiority. And that these two dogs, they represent the divine and the demoniac qualities within each one of our hearts. And whichever dog is strongest is whichever dog we choose to feed. And the way we feed the dog is by choosing to accept those qualities. So when we're in a situation, when we choose to act right, when we choose to do good in that situation, that is feeding the good dog. But if we choose to not listen to our good thoughts and rather take the bad thoughts, that's feeding the bad dog. So the way it works is we just have to keep feeding the good dog, keep doing the right thing, and then gradually the bad dog gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And then that way we become very strong in acting righteously, acting properly. So that's a nice analogy that Maharaj gives. Yeah, but then sometimes you can also say that it's not so simple as just like good and bad, or like dharma and adharma. Because Arjuna, it seemed like he was following dharma. Like he was saying, why do I want to fight in this war? Like, I don't want to kill my teacher. I don't want to kill my guru. I don't want to kill all these people. If they want the kingdom, just let them have it. Like, I'll just go to the forest and like beg. It's okay. But Krishna tells them later that, no, you should fight this war. So we can say, why is Krishna telling Arjuna to fight the war? Isn't that like adharmic, and Arjuna is the one who's being dharmic? So obviously there's a reason behind that. But the point is that things are not always so like so clear like that. It's not that we just read Shastra and immediately we understand everything. It's said that spiritual progress, it runs on 3 tracks: Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. And we have to take guidance from all 3 of these. Because otherwise we can be misled, or we can misinterpret Shastra. We can sometimes just take an instruction but not understand the purpose behind that instruction. We can follow rules and regulations but not understand why we're following them, and then follow them in the wrong way. Or we can take instruction from a great personality but not understand the intention behind why he told us to do that, and then end up doing something which is actually against his desire. There's recently I was doing the disciple course, and my teacher, he told me one story. It was that there was a guru and his disciple, and they were traveling. They were traveling on a horse, and this disciple, he was very dedicated to his guru. He said, I want to be like a perfect disciple. So I'm just going to follow everything that my guru says exactly. So they were traveling one day on a horse. Both of them were sitting on the horse. And then in the course of the long journey, the guru, he falls asleep. And then he drops his chadar on the way. So they keep going. The disciple, he doesn't do anything. And then after some time, like a few hours, the guru, he wakes up. And then he's like, hey, where's my chadar? And then the disciple's like, oh, long time ago, it fell off, like way back over there. And the guru's like, oh, why didn't you pick it up? The disciple was like, I just follow your instructions. You never gave me an instruction to pick up the chadar or pick up anything, so I didn't do it. And the guru's like, okay, now I give you the instruction. Whatever falls off the horse, you pick it up. So they continued the journey. And then after some time, the horse, he passes horse dung. And the disciple, he picks it up. And the guru's like, what are you doing? And the disciple's like, you gave me the instruction. Whatever falls off the horse, I should pick it up. And the Guru is like, no, throw it away. It's like, now I give you the instruction. Whatever falls off the horse, whatever falls from the horse, don't pick it up. So they keep traveling, and then after some time, the Guru, he falls asleep again. And they start traveling on a bumpy area, like up the hills, and then the Guru, he falls off the horse. And then the disciple and the horse, they keep going, because the disciple says, my Guru gave me the order that whatever falls off the horse, I shouldn't pick it up. So yeah, the moral of that story is that we have to understand the purpose behind an instruction. We have to understand the intention of a person, their actual desire, not just say that, oh, so-and-so said this, so I have to do exactly like this, without using our intelligence to understand the meaning, why they said that, and what they actually want from us. So it's like that, yeah, they say spiritual life is simple, but at the same time it requires a lot of thought, a lot of intelligence to truly understand what is the will of Krishna, what is the will of Guru, and to act accordingly. So it's almost time. I'll stop here. If anyone has any comments, any reflections, anything they'd like to share, any questions, I'd be happy to hear from you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry? Uh-huh. Okay, so her question is, how can we become introspective in our life so that we can learn to follow Guru or Shastra in the proper way, yeah? Okay. How to become introspective in life. I think one thing is also just to read the Shastra thoroughly would be one thing, and Srila Prabhupada, he gives purports explaining very nicely all of the verses. So one thing I think would be just to become familiar with Shastra overall, not just knowing parts of Shastra and then acting according to that or accepting that as everything, but to have a good broad understanding of Shastric knowledge in general. Because that will help us to understand in a particular situation what exactly would apply to that situation. And then also, it's same with Guru. I think it would take some time to spending time with the Guru to really understand what are his desires, what are his goals, what are his intentions. Because if you know a person's personality well, then you can understand when they say something that you know them very well, so you know exactly what they want and where this instruction is coming from and how this instruction would practically they would want you to practically apply that in your life. So yeah, I would say becoming familiar first of all with the Shastras or with the Guru, and then also obviously using our intelligence to understand, not just blindly follow, but then use our intelligence. And then we can also cross-reference, if Guru says something but we're not sure, then we check with Shastra or we check with sadhus, just to confirm that my Guru Maharaj told me this, is this actually what he wants from me, or how should I practically follow this in my life? Or we could also ask the Guru to clarify if it's not so sure. But it's important that we always have that intelligence and consider that, okay, my Guru Maharaj gave me this instruction, and now is this actually just following it straight like that? Is this actually what he wants from me? So yeah, I think just to think deeply and to study, to get to know the person. Can you take the mic?
Hare Krishna. So I've heard from a few devotees that journaling helps to develop introspection, when we reflect and write down our realizations, our questions, and it just creates a more measured approach to our spiritual life. And we can get more in touch with how we feel and understand what's our feelings and what's coming from Shastra and how to apply Shastra to our lives in some way.
Yeah, thank you, Suravi, for that point. Sometimes just like writing down our thoughts helps us, like when we can see it in front of us, then we can like make better sense of it. And so, yeah, journaling definitely is one very practical and helpful way for becoming more introspective. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to say? Otherwise, it's almost 7 o'clock. Arti will be in like 2 or 3 minutes. So we can pack up here, get ready for Arti. Thank you very much for attending. Srila Prabhupada ki.